Dear students, welcome to today's lecture. Today's lecture topic is cryptography. Before going with the topic of cryptography, I would like to give a brief introduction about the security. Means in computer, the security is very important. Means we will store large amount of information in our computer systems, and there will be some sensitive data, and they are very valuable to us. So we should trust the system, trust the computer system when there is security. So what are the security requirements in order to avoid the unauthorized access will be dealt in the chapter of security. So, when designing the security of a computer system, several mechanisms are implemented so that we can get the secure features. So, some of the goals of the computer security are secrecy. Means whatever information is maintained in the system, it must be accessible to only authorized users. Say for example, I am an authorized user for my own PC, like that. Uh, and you may add some other users as authorized user. Other than that, any third party user will come under as a unauthorized user. So the information should be kept in a secret manner. Privacy means the misuse of that information should be prevented. Okay. Authenticity means when user receives some data, the user must be able to verify that whether it is from the authenticated sender or not. Means from where you are expecting the message, is the received message is from that sender or not, that is authenticity. Or it is getting from another person. You have to authenticate him. And integrity means whatever the information sent via the network should be same as the sent message. Means information within the system must be protected, and any corruption of that data by unauthorized users should be prevented. So these are some of the goals of the computer security. Next is, what are the different types of potential attacks? Means in a computer system or in any conversations in our daily life also, there may be of two types of attacks: passive attacks and active attacks. So, attacks means whenever any attack is happen, that information is compromised. Means that one is revealed to another person. So here, whenever you got any notification in your mobile about some message, you got the notification that you have got a new message in WhatsApp. In such a case, uh, the message is revealed or not. It may be checked by any other person, but there will be no modifications in such a case. Means there is a leak in the message. Whenever you have that notification, some notifications will give you the complete message. If your friend is there, she or he can read that message. Means message is revealed. What is the message he or she is able to know? Who is unauthorized? But uh, the unauthorized access is happened. So for that purpose, browsing, leaking, masquerade, and inference are the examples of the types of passive attacks. There, the message will be opened and message will be compromised, and there will be no modifications possible in such these passive attack types. And in active attacks, the message is revealed and modifications are also possible. Means whatever, say for example, in attacks like active attacks, we can make changes like 5,000 figure to 10,000. Like that, we can make changes. Active attacks will do a much loss to the computer system, and for this examples are viruses. So with some small piece of code which is attached to a program, when this program is executed, it will infect all the other programs in our system, and it replicates in some cases also. Like that worms, these are also some programs which will spread from one computer to another network in a network of computers. Like that, logic worms also a program which lies inside and it triggers whenever we explode it. Like that, different types of attacks are considered as passive attacks and active attacks. So, now, what is meant by cryptography? So, cryptography is nothing but a way of protecting our private information from unauthorized access. So, the basic idea behind this cryptography is it is by using some secure techniques, it is possible to prevent uh, the information. Means we can avoid the compromise of a message. So, basic concepts behind this cryptography means what are the terminologies used in these are encryption and decryption. So these are the two primitive operations in cryptography, and we will see what is meant by the process of encryption and decryption now. So we will have a plain text, and that plain text is called as intelligible information. Why? Because by seeing that text any human can read it. That is plain text. And we need to convert this plain text into an unintelligible form, means which cannot be read by a human being. So that unintelligible form of text is called as ciphertext. So conversion of this plain text to ciphertext is called as encryption, and encryption will be performed at sender node. Why? Because a sender sends a plain text message, and via this encryption process this plain text will be converted to unintelligible form, that is ciphertext. The ciphertext is transferred through a secure channel and it is received by the receiver, and decryption will be going with this ciphertext, means ciphertext will be transformed to the plain text, means the information will be back from ciphertext to plain text, and this process is called as deciphering or decryption process. So for both the purposes we will use one key which is called as uh, encryption key and decryption key. See here, the mathematical notation for getting the ciphertext C is equal to any encryption function performed on the plain text using the encryption key KE. KE performed on plain text, we will get the ciphertext. Okay, and the reverse of this encryption process means we will perform uh, the decryption process on a ciphertext using the key KD, decryption key. So here P is the plain text and K is the encryption key, C is the resulting ciphertext. Now this C is transformed to P via decryption. C decryption performed on the ciphertext using decryption key. We get the plain text. So always the decryption function is the inverse of encryption function. You will see these two process, encryption and decryption process, via this example. Say for example, we have the plain text or a message that is attack at once. Okay, and the key I am using is 4, means this alphabet plus 4 characters. So what this plain text, on this plain text I am performing the encryption algorithm and the key is 4. See, A plus 4, after A, B, C, D and E, fourth character will be E, so I am writing here it as E. After T, U, V, W, X, like that. After T again X, A, E, C, G, like that I got the cipher text. See here, this text is called as intelligible text, means it can be read by human being, and this text is unintelligible format. By looking this, are you able to know anything from this message? No. So like this, plain text will be converted to ciphertext via encryption algorithm and key, and this happens at the sender side. Now this ciphertext will be transferred through a secure channel, and this ciphertext will be received by the receiver. What he will do? Decryption key is nothing but the reverse of the encryption algorithm. Decryption algorithm is nothing but reverse. We have added here, and in terms of decryption we have to subtract it. So ciphertext subtracted with 4, DCBA, like that we will get the reverse of this plain text. Ciphertext minus 4, E minus 4 is A, X minus 4 is T, like that we will get the plain text. This process is called encryption process and decryption process. See here, decryption is performed on E of P comma KE. If you remember this, E of P comma KE is nothing but the ciphertext C, right? See here, C is equal to E of P comma KE. This we have noted as C. This means C comma KD is equal to P. So here in symmetric encryption, we will use one key. So KE and KD can be called as the key used for both the process of encryption and decryption. See here the general structure of crypto system. At the sender side, message will be given to an encryption algorithm and it uses the key, encryption key, and it transforms this plain message to cipher text. See here, cipher text is transformed through a channel. It can be an insecure channel also, and this ciphertext, why? Because it is an unintelligible message. So ciphertext received at the receiver node, and on ciphertext acts as an input for decryption algorithm, and using the decryption key this message will be converted to the normal message. Ciphertext will be converted to normal message. So here for encryption algorithm, the input is message, output is ciphertext. Here the input is ciphertext output is message. Okay, this is what we call as end-to-end encryption. In your WhatsApp messages also you can see this feature, means that application is providing an end-to-end encryption of all the messages and calls. This you can check in your WhatsApp also. If you open any chat box, it will be giving the message like this, that no outside member can view or can watch your messages. That is nothing but encryption and decryption process are going on end to end, means at this end, at sender node it happens encryption, and at the receiver node at end of the receiver it happens decryption. So end to end encryption will be given. And some of the basic requirements are there in order to follow this crypto system. Those are, we are having many algorithms of encryption and decryption algorithms. Say for example, data encryption standard, advanced encryption standard, IDEA, Blowfish, SHA algorithm. All these are examples of encryption and decryption algorithms. But out of that, uh, all those algorithms easy should be easy to implement, and they should be efficient in order to use it in our computer applications. So this is one of the basic requirement in order to follow the encryption and decryption process, that is crypto system. And the second one is, we can achieve security via two methods. The first one is by keeping the algorithm which we have used for this process as a secret, or you can also keep the key as a secret. Means out of these different algorithms, what algorithm we have used, if we kept that algorithm used name as a secret, there might be a chance of not revealing that message. Like that, practically we will not keep the algorithm as a secret, we will keep key as a secret. Okay, we will not give anybody this key. So the security of the system should depend only on the secrecy of the keys. Means when we, as long as the key is secret, your system is secure. As long as your pin is not known to anybody, your money is safe. Your ATM card pin is not known to anybody, your money is safe. Means the system bank account is safe. Like that, if you are keeping the key as secret, and there is no need of secrecy of algorithms used, no need to maintain secrecy in algorithms used, just we need to keep secret. So by these two methods we can achieve security. This is another requirement. And the third one is, now the system must be practically secure, means it should be secure always. An attacker, means any unauthorized person is considered as an attacker or intruder, we can say like that. The third party who is apart from sender and receiver comes as an attacker. So in a crypto system, this level of difficulty is measured in terms of time and number of elementary operations. In how much time he can decode that message, he can get the key of that message, or in number of operations, after performing in number of operations, in how many number of operations he is getting that message. So that difficulty will be there, and generally we will use in terms of the intruder, will check three types of attacks. He will try to get the information in these three types of attacks, that is ciphertext only attack, in which the intruder is able to get this ciphertext, means he is, by somehow he got this ciphertext, and now he tries to derive what the key might be. He will always check what the key might be in this ciphertext used for this. Say for example, he got this he got this message, ciphertext EXXEGO, like this he got. He will identify what will be the key such that I am getting this text properly. Like that he will add +1, +2, +3, +4 means in fourth round he will get some meaningful message. Like that he will goes on doing. So like that in this type of attack he will get the ciphertext and he will try to derive the key. So a system whose security is not resistant to this cipher text only attack is considered as totally insecure. Why? Because by knowing the key, all the other messages also revealed. So this is one of the useless one. The system is in a not resistant mode. And the next attack is in known plain text attack, means an intruder will consider the amount of both ciphertext and plain text and he will match with the keys, means he will have both the keys and for what key I am getting this ciphertext he will check that, and if any system is not able to reveal this KD what the key is, then we can say that system is resisting this known plain text attack. Even he know the plain text and the ciphertext, he is not able to identify what the key is used. Then we can say that that system is much considered as secure. And the third type of attack is chosen plain text attack, means out of a number of lines of sentences he will choose some part of the plain text and he will identify the ciphertext of that particular sentences, and he tries to get the key, and he examines the several ciphertext for the uh, plain text to identify plain text, means he's on depending upon his or her choice, he want only the message which is important he thinks, and he chooses the plain text, and this is a type nowadays uh, the system should evaluate and they should uh, capable or they should withstand with the chosen plain text attacks. Now coming to the categories of crypto systems, there are two types of crypto systems. They are symmetric and asymmetric crypto systems. So in symmetric crypto systems, both the KE and KD are seen, means symmetric, means in this system we will use the same key for the process of encryption and for decryption also. So as we are using the same key, it is called as a shared key algorithm or private key crypto systems. Means we'll see this via one figure. See here plain text is there. Plain text is converting into ciphertext via key. And at receiver side, this ciphertext acts as an input and the same key is used. Whatever key used for encryption process, that will be shared with the receiver and the same key is used in order to get the plain text back. So this type of same key used for both encryption and decryption process, that systems are that encryption process is called as symmetric encryption. Okay, encryption and decryption will process will go with the same key, means this system should share the key with the two parties. Okay, next in a asymmetric in an asymmetric crypto system we will have two keys, means a pair of keys will be there, and these type of crypto systems are known as public key crypto systems. Here we will have both public key and private key. Public key will be shared to a public and private key will be kept as secret with the owner itself. Always uh, a owner generates private key and public key. Public key will be given to the crypto system, means anybody want to send a message to him, he will send via using this public key, and that message will be decrypted by using his private key. Suppose A want to send message to B, in such a case what A will do, A will get the public key of B and he encrypts the data and sends it. B receives the data and he decrypts that message using private key. Here we are using two keys for encryption and decryption process. So this process is called as public key crypto system or two key system. Okay. Asymmetric systems are known as public key crypto systems. Only thing is that the KD means the key used for decryption process need to be kept secret. Apart from that, the public key can be known to a public. Next, for example, in a public key crypto system, if A and B want to establish any connection and B want to send message to A, in that case, the following is the scenario goes on. Entity A posts the encryption key KE of a public key crypto system. I have already said this example only. Entity A posts his public key crypto system, public key on crypto system. Now B will get the public key of A. So entity B uses A's public key to encrypt the message using K and it transmits to A. What entity A will do? Entity A will decrypt the B's message, whatever message sent by B, using the decryption key. Here that is private key of the crypto system. Only A can decrypt this message. Why? Because KD is available only with A. As A will keep the secret, private key as a secret. Now A also has the key K. Both A and B can safely communicate with each other. So here the third party cannot observe the message. Okay. So coming to the advantages and disadvantages of these two types of crypto systems. Symmetric crypto systems require both the encryption and decryption process should be performed on by a trusted subsystem. In order to share that key, we need to trust any third party or any subsystem. Otherwise, the key can be known to all the public. So we need to trust in order to share that key. Whereas this is not necessary in asymmetric crypto systems. We need not trust any subsystems. Okay. We will see this one in again in key distribution, and the second one is security of the messages in communication. Means whenever you are using a symmetric crypto system, in such a case the messages should be transferred through a secure channel by the sender, and the receiver of the key uses the encipher of the messages. Means here, see here, this one should be communicated, this one should be transferred in a secure channel. But here this public key and encryption algorithm can be known public, they need not be transferred via a secure channel. As the key will be kept secret, there is no requirement of maintaining a secure channel. So for symmetric crypto systems, it requires a secure channel, but for asymmetric crypto systems, it can be transferred through a insecure channel also. Okay, both the public key and the messages can be transmitted through an insecure channel. Why? Because uh, the private key is kept as secret. Decryption key is kept as secret. For this reason, asymmetric crypto systems are more secure than symmetric crypto systems. And the third advantage is asymmetric crypto systems are somewhat expensive as they are providing much security than symmetric crypto systems, and they cannot perform bulk data. Means asymmetric crypto systems are not efficient in handling bulk data encryption. Okay. So for initialization purposes, we will use asymmetric crypto systems, and for the actual data transfer, we will use both the combination of symmetric encryption system. Now, in terms of different attributes, what are the differences between symmetric and asymmetric encryption means? Uh, this in terms of keys attributes, we know that in symmetric crypto systems we will use one key. So one key is shared between two or more entities. Means both the sender and the receiver will share that key, and there will be only one key. And in asymmetric encryption, one entity has public key and the other entity has the corresponding private key. This one is very much important. Every public key will have the corresponding private key. With that private key only we can decrypt the message which is encrypted via public key. So here we have two keys. And in terms of key exchange, here that key exchange should be between the entities should be done through a secure mechanism. But here the public key is made available to everyone, and only the private key is kept by the owner. In terms of speed, this algorithm is less complex and faster, and it one is more complex and performs in a slow manner. And the usage, bulk encryption is also done via symmetric encryption. And key distribution means in order to distribute the key, we will use these asymmetric algorithms like RSA, and for digital signatures also we will use digital standard algorithms. For these algorithms we will use asymmetric type of encryption. Means where we will use this type of encryption and where we will use this type of encryption schemes. And coming to security service provided by this symmetric encryption is confidentiality. Means secrecy of information will be maintained when this service confidentiality, authenticity, non-repudiation, integrity are one of the or some of the major services provided by any encryption algorithm. And this service is service provided by symmetric is confidentiality. Means secrecy of information will be there. And when using asymmetric, the services it provides is authentication and non-repudiation. See, why? Because public key and private key, the intended recipient or the sender only sent that message, we can have that guarantee. So these services are non-repudiation, means denial of service. uh, all these services will be given by asymmetric encryption. So I hope you all have understood these topics of what is the importance of security in computer systems, what are the types of potential attacks, that is passive attacks and active attacks. Passive attacks do not involve modifications. Active attacks will involve some modifications of data. Even the messages totally modified with the help of passive active attacks. And the thing we have seen next is cryptography. What are the terminologies used? Encryption, decryption, plain text, ciphertext, encryption algorithm, and decryption algorithm. After that, we have seen different types of encryption process, encryption crypto systems, symmetric versus asymmetric crypto systems. I hope you all have understood this topic. Thank you.